Greetings Internet! It's a new year, so let's talk about resolutions. I originally intended to make this video last week, so I imagine at this point many people out there in the world have already failed at their resolutions. Me, I haven't failed mine yet, but that's because a couple of years ago I realised that in order to keep up with them, you needed to phrase them better. I started to call them goals rather than resolutions. You need to phrase it in a way that you can't immediately fail. Take the typical resolution as an example. I am going to go on a diet. That's a pretty common one and also a pretty easily failable one, as everyone gorges themselves on donuts by day 2. But rather than phrasing it as I'm going to go on a diet, you need to phrase it as something like I'm going to lose so many pounds or kilograms by the end of the year. And then that way, you can't immediately fail. You don't know whether you failed until right at the end of the year. Well, a couple of people I have mentioned this to, though, have said that, well, that would probably mean I would just leave it all until December and then do it all in one go. Which is a valid point, and as a master procrastinator myself, is probably something I should have thought of, but that's not actually a problem I've had in the past. And as a counterpoint, I would say, even if you did leave it all to December, at least you then have done it, rather than giving up on January 2nd. But even though I've been setting these goals for a couple of years now, I've still not been entirely successful. That's for all sorts of reasons, ranging from laziness to busyness, but I recently came across another possible reason which I find interesting. It's something that CGP Grey talked about in the Hello Internet podcast. What happens is you come up with a task or a project or something in mind that you know you want to do. You get yourself all geared up and ready to go and you're looking forward to it. But then you tell some people about the project. Those people then proceed to give you feedback. Yay, that's a great idea, go you. The problem is that feedback, it gives your brain the reward it was looking for. Whether it's dopamine or something like that, you get the positive feeling of success even though you haven't actually even started. And so the whole thing grinds to a halt. Now of course everybody's different and people's brains work in different ways, but this is definitely something I have observed in myself. I can even think of at least one recent example. It was just before Christmas I made a video about how I was working on a brand new programming project, but since then I've barely touched it. I could say I was busy or Christmas got in the way, but really they're just excuses. I didn't make the effort because I didn't feel like I needed to anymore because I'd had my reward. So yes, this year I do have goals, but no, I am not going to tell you what they are. What about you guys? Do you have resolutions for the year? Have you already failed? Are you willing to share them? Let me know in the comments down below and I will see you next week.